guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review. This review is for Baddies East Season 4, Episode 1. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Listen, this episode was crazy, so let's just get right into this review. Now, they definitely took a page out of the Bad Girls Club book this season because instead of wasting 10 minutes recapping the previous season, they decided to start off with an opening fight. The opening fight was between Sukihana and Rolly. They didn't show us the whole thing, just like they never show us the whole thing on Bad Girls Club. But Bad Girls Club always started out every season with the biggest fight of the season, and that's what they ended up doing in this episode. Now, Natalie, Rolly, Chrisean, Stunner Girl, and Scottie all ended up having a meeting so that they can go over all the new girls that will be joining this season. Now, I'm not going to lie, they looked really good. Rolly just had surgery, which she did say during this meeting that she was nervous about getting into a fight. Not because she's scared, but because she just had surgery and she doesn't know how that's going to go if she has to physically fight somebody. But she did say that she's down for whatever. Now, Scottie looks really good with the bob. I think she came in and she looked really, really good. I do feel like she's trying to be a little bit more rowdy this season because she probably feels like she has to because people are always calling her boring. But I do think that it's weird that Natalie keeps bringing the same girls back for every single season. Now, I was surprised to see Stunner Girl there because I know I saw some videos on social media of her saying that she was no longer a part of this season. Maybe she's just going to be a part of the beginning. But I was surprised to see her there because she was a troublemaker last season. She wasn't necessarily a troublemaker, but she got into a lot of fights. The drama surrounded her the entire time. Natalie ended up asking Chrisean how she's going to deal with being a part of the show this season because she's pregnant. And she asked Chrisean if she was going to be fighting and told her that she doesn't think it's a good idea because she's pregnant. But Chrisean says she doesn't know if she's going to fight or not. She just knows that nobody can hit her back. And I honestly don't feel like Chrisean should really be a part of the show this season because she was pregnant at the time. But I do think that she has to get her money the way she has to get it because she has a baby to raise. I just don't think that she should be engaging in any type of fights. If she's going to be around the lady, she shouldn't be around when there's any drama taking place. But Natalie ended up deciding that it was time for them to go over the ladies that are going to be a part of this new season. And there's a lot of them. I don't know why they put so many girls on this season, but I'm interested to see how it ends up going. So the first person they ended up going over who is going to be a part of the cast for this season of the show is Sky from Black Ink Crew, which I'm not really familiar with Sky. I did see some clips of her, but I never watched Black Ink Crew, so I'm interested to see what happens when she gets on the show. They also casted Woe Vicky, which I was surprised about, and a lot of the other ladies that were at the meeting were surprised that Natalie casted her because she doesn't really fit in as a baddie. And then on top of that, I just don't think that she's a fighter, and she claims to be really religious at this point, so I don't even understand why they asked her to be a part of the show, and I don't even understand why she agreed to come. I don't even know if this girl is going to stay the entire season because I did see some clips online that she ended up getting into a physical altercation with Chrisean, and so I'm wondering what's going to happen with that whole situation. Now, they do have this girl, T, who does comedy skits on the show, and a lot of the ladies seem to be familiar with her, and they seem to like her. I don't know her, and I'm unfamiliar with her, but I do think that she'll bring something different to the show, maybe the comedic relief that we probably need at some point during the season because she does do comedy skits. So I don't know her, but I'm interested to see how she does this season, too. Now, all the BGC fans, including myself, are really happy about Camila being a part of the show. Now, I liked Camila on Season 8 of the Bad Girls Club. I thought she was cool, and she will fight if she has to fight. And her and Natalie have been having on and off beef for years. So I'm interested to see what happens when the two of them run into each other this season. Natalie was talking big game to the other ladies, saying that she was going to fight Camila on site. And I definitely do think that Camila and Natalie will get into some type of physical altercation on the show because they always get into it. But I'm definitely glad that Camila is a part of the show. People have been asking for her to do it for a while now. I just hope that she doesn't end up the way that a lot of the other ladies that were on Bad Girls Club turn out after they end up joining Natalie's show. Saya is also a girl that has been casted for this season. She makes music and she's a stud, so she's definitely going to bring something different to the show. We never had a stud on Baddies before, so I'm interested to see how she does. And a lot of the other ladies seem to be attracted to her, especially Rolly. She was talking about it during this meeting. And so I definitely want to keep an eye out on her this season because I don't know how she's going to be. I don't know if she's going to be, just flirting with the other girls on the show or if she's going to end up getting into a fight. I don't think anybody will try her this season, but I'm actually glad about this casting, even though I'm unfamiliar with who she is. Mariah Lynn from Love and Hip Hop New York was also casted for the show. She ended up going to the auditions, even though she really didn't have to, because they were going to pick her anyway, because let's be real, on this show they like to cast people who are already known. So she ended up getting casted for this season, and I'm not mad about her being a part of the show, because she is a firecracker. She will fight and she will speak her mind if she has to, but she does have beef with another girl that was casted this season. Smiley is one of the girls who were at the auditions, and she ended up getting into a fight with Mariah Lynn's sister, and then Mariah Lynn and her ended up getting into a little bit of a scuffle in the hallway, and Mariah Lynn's, chain ended up getting snatched by Smiley. That's what they said during this meeting, and so I definitely think that they casted Smiley specifically for Mariah Lynn because they knew that there was going to be drama, but I'm actually glad that Natalie and Zeus ended up casting more than one person who went to the audition, because usually they don't do that. They usually only cast just one person from the auditions. Ahna Mac is the other girl that got casted who showed up to the auditions, and I actually kind of like her after watching this first episode. Now, I don't know if I'm going to like her after this first episode, because I said the same thing about Razor last season, and she ended up disappointing me as the season went on. So I don't know if I'm going to like Ahna after this first episode, but the first episode made me like her. And apparently she has beef with Scottie, because she's been talking about Scottie on social media, and Scottie has an issue with it. Although Scottie's not really a fighter, so I'm surprised to hear her talking how she was talking when Anna's name was brought up. The last girl to be casted for this season is Chrisean Rock's sister, Tesehki. She looks just like Chrisean, and she sounds a lot like her too, and they're both firecrackers, but she wasn't originally going to be casted for this season because she was trying to fight Chrisean at the auditions, and Natalie seemed to have a problem with that, or so she said she had a problem with it, and so she got into a verbal altercation with, Chrisean's sister at the auditions, trying to defend Chrisean, and Chrisean originally did not want her sister to get a ticket on the show because she felt like her sister was trying to fight her and she was trying to get on the show on purpose, but eventually she ended up giving her sister a ticket, which didn't surprise me because they're sisters. They're going to get into stuff, but at the end of the day, they're still going to have each other's back, and so I wasn't surprised that she ended up getting casted for the show. Now, Natalie was messing up Tesehki's name on purpose. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but I know that the way that Natalie was pronouncing her name kind of ticked off Chrisean, and she checked her for it because she felt like she was trying to make fun of her sister, which she had an issue with. And that's why I feel like Natalie should have stayed out of Chrisean and her sister's beef, because at the end of the day, they're sisters, and she's going to take her sister's side over Natalie's. Now, Chrisean did tell Natalie during this meeting, look, if we're cool, we're cool. I'm not dealing with any of that fake shit with you this season. And I can understand where Chrisean's coming from with that, because one minute you could be really cool with Natalie, and then the next minute she's talking bad about you and she's trying to talk to you crazy. And so I can definitely understand where Chrisean's coming from. But Natalie is consistent. She's the same person she was the first time we saw her on Bad Girls Club Season 4, and she has not changed since. So if you decide to be friends with her, then you need to know what comes with that. And so I just don't feel like anybody should really take a friendship with her seriously. And if you do, when you get done dirty, at this point, that's your fault. Natalie ended up getting into a huge altercation with not just Chrisean's sister Tesehki in the hotel lobby in Washington, D.C., but Chrisean's whole damn family was there, and they all ended up getting into it. Now, they didn't end up getting into a fight because they couldn't physically fight. Security kept Natalie held back, obviously, because she was going to end up getting beat up. But according to Tesehki, the reason why the altercation happened is because as soon as Natalie seen all of them in the hotel lobby, she started yelling stuff at them, and that's what Chrisean said as well. But we don't know exactly how this whole thing started because we didn't see it from the beginning. But according to Chrisean, she ended up taking her family side in this situation, and Natalie was just being dramatic during this whole situation. Security was holding back Chrisean's sister and family, and Natalie was just yelling the entire time that they're all broke and that they need to keep making her money. Honestly, Natalie is very entertaining to me. She's the same person she always has been, and she's very dramatic. I don't think that she wants to fight, but she will make drama if she has to in order to make sure that her show is successful, and that's why I feel like she was yelling at them in the hotel lobby the way that she was. The next day, Natalie was telling Scottie what took place between her and Chrisean's family, and basically she tried to blame the whole situation on Chrisean, saying that Chrisean tried to set her up, and that's the reason why Chrisean's whole family was there. She said that, Chrisean invited them all there on purpose so that they can try to fight her, and I don't know if that's true or not. I don't really think that that's true, but if it is true, that's crazy. But Natalie shouldn't have been coming at her sister the way that she was when she was at the auditions, because at the end of the day, whatever beef Chrisean and her sister have against each other, that's their business, and Natalie should have stayed out of it. And when Chrisean was having a conversation in this episode with both her sister and Stunner Girl, she told Stunner Girl that she didn't believe that Natalie was even being genuine when she defended her against her sister at the auditions. And honestly, I don't believe that Natalie was being genuine either. Natalie likes attention. She's going to do what she has to do to get on your good side. She love bombs people, and then she ends up, discarding them, and that's usually what she ends up doing. So I don't think Chrisean's wrong to feel like Natalie wasn't genuine, because honestly, I don't think she was either. At the very end of this episode, Natalie ends up setting up this really messy brunch for some of the ladies, and she basically said that she wanted everybody to fight it out before they end up going to the next city, because she doesn't want any drama. And the thing about it is that she knows damn well they're not just going to fight at this brunch and then never fight again for the rest of the season. So I don't even know why she said that. She really just wants drama because it's going to make the show entertaining, and honestly, I agree with that, because without the fights, it wouldn't be entertaining at all. Natalie ended up inviting people to this brunch that she knew had beef with each other, because obviously she wanted them to fight, and she ends up showing up with Mariah Lynn and Scottie first, and then Woe Vicky and T end up showing up, which Woe Vicky looked completely out of place. She was praying at the table. She was ordering non-alcoholic beverages, which I don't really drink either, so I don't think that it's wrong for her to order a non-alcoholic beverage, but I just feel like she doesn't really fit in to be a part of the show. Like, is she even going to participate in anything that they do? And then Scottie's sitting there at the table looking over her shoulder. She's paranoid because she knows for a fact Natalie is going to invite somebody that she has beef with, and she was absolutely right. Because Ahna ends up showing up, and as soon as Ahna ends up walking into the room where they're sitting at, Scottie ends up running up on her, and the two of them get into a bit of a scuffle. And the reason why I'm calling it a scuffle is because security was holding them back, so they wasn't really able to fight. But it looked like from this first part of the fight that Scottie was handling her own in this situation. But then when they got pulled apart and they were yelling and screaming at each other, at one point Ahna ended up jumping in the air and she hopped onto Scottie. Scottie's laying on the floor. Anna's on top of her, beating on her face, and I'm like, damn, Scottie should have never ran up on this girl at all. Because it's clear to me that this girl, Ahna, is a fighter, like she's with the shits, but Scottie is not with the shits. I think that Scottie will fight if she has to fight, and there's nothing wrong with that, but she's not really a fighter. She doesn't start fights, and I don't really believe that she wants to fight. I feel like she, did what she did because she feels like she has to. A lot of people talk about how she's boring on the show and how she doesn't do anything and how she doesn't fight, and so she feels like in order to become a fan favorite or somebody that people like, she feels like she has to fight in order to fit in. And I just wish she didn't feel like she had to change who she is to fit in with other people, because it's okay to be the calm girl who doesn't want to fight. It's okay to be the girl who just wants to have a good time with her friends, and that's it. We don't need every girl on the show to be a fighter. And so I just don't understand why Scottie did what she did, but she fucked around and found out, because Ahna definitely handled her at the very end of this episode. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Baddies East. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos, and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.